We were supposed to take down 2 bosses this week, but Protectors took just too long, so... God damn you, time.
I walk into the party, my name is at the door. I get myself a drink, as I make it to the floor. I walk into the party, get my name at the door. But they want more, it's me they're ready for. Do you wanna take a picture of me?
So, we take down another boss. And it's another... not bad boss, but it really took us way less attempts than I expected it to.
I think a lot of people are overestimating the difficulty of the fight.
They were pretty fun-tastic.
And to be honest, that's probably one of my favorite fights. It feels so smooth to me, and it's a lot of little jobs that work together to get that boss down.
Here we go, pulling in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So on Tuesday night, we went into Heroic Protectors in Terrace of the Endless Springs.
We progressed on them pretty quickly. It only took a night and a half of attempts, really. They weren't too hard. It was a different rotation than we were used to, though, so we actually had to relearn some normal mechanics.
Strangely enough, we had issues with Lightning Storm, which you would think wouldn't be too big of an issue because it's a normal mechanic, but sure enough, we had some.
We went right in and did it on Elite Mode on normal, so we didn't ever do this rotation of people. So things like the lightning rings, we had a lot of like really stupid deaths to that, but that was more just people not knowing how to deal with it, as opposed to, you know, we're not used to having to do those normal mode mechanics. It's really weird doing it in a different order.
It's a fight where you have to really organize and delegate responsibilities very, very well. You have to be very clear about everyone's responsibilities on the fight.
But the actual difficulty of the boss wasn't too hard. It's all about managing the stacks from killing those ads. And luckily we have some really good ad killers in our guild. Any chance to pad is jumped on.
If you pad, I'll fucking stab you. Brian.
You already whispered me, I already told you I wouldn't. Shut up.
It is a fight that if something goes wrong, it can and more than likely probably will snowball out of control.
We were hitting in rage, like legitimately, just either the soft enrage, where the last phase you just like take too much damage and die, or the straight up hardened rage, where we also did that a couple of times because we were running an extra healer than usual. So it was fun to have an encounter actually really test my ability to like get back into the form of like DPSing really hard and like not worrying about a lot of other stuff and letting other people, you know, like take care of their own stuff.
We have the musical
Springtime for Hitler and Germany.
Dude, I just watched that movie over the weekend.
So another big facet of this fight is interrupts. So it actually gave us a reason to bring all of our melee in, which was kind of a nice deal.
If a Sony ever got a water bolt off, it hurts a lot. It gets in there, it splashes the raid, and there's a lot of damage that really shouldn't be going out. And it's just, as a healer, it's like, whoa, where did this come from? Now I gotta get everybody up. And, oh man.
Interrupts weren't really that big of a deal. They were kind of getting a little sloppy just because we had like multiple, like 2-3 person rotations on one mob because it does like an AoE splash, so we wanted to make sure that got interrupted.
So we got the interrupters on the 2 bosses, and we had backup interrupters in case those interrupters missed. And usually it was like, if one cast goes off, these 2 people interrupt that one, and then we go to the next guy, and the next guy, and it goes back to that group.
Once somebody goes by mistake, then everything starts getting really weird, and it's hard to kind of get back on track, but we managed to kind of pull it off anyway.
Water bolt to be interrupted.
One water bolt didn't get interrupted. That was probably the wipe there.
Yeah, that took out all of Group 4.
It's very hard for healers to catch up from that in Phase 3.
The mobs have 100 billion more HP, but there's a mechanic that makes you deal more damage, and that kind of like carries the amount of DPS you can do, which is like the 4th fight or so that's happened this tier, so that's getting a little old.
And so we ended up killing it.
It only took us like 2 days, I think it was, to beat this boss. And there wasn't really a whole lot of things to adjust. We just had to do better on interrupts and deal more damage.
It wasn't something to write home about. It was a really anticlimactic kill, because at the end of that fight, you have like everybody almost has like a 90% damage buff, and some of them have lust, and you know all your personals are going, and so everyone's doing a shit ton of damage. And so it went from like I want to say like 10 million to dead, just like that. It was like oh, well, yippee.
It's a little unexpected when it happens, and you're trying to figure out what just happened.
Personally, I was killing one of like the water spheres at the time, and so I was just focusing that, and then just despawned. I was like, oh shit, did we win? Oh, never mind, we killed it.
Can help on ads.
Dead.
2 people.
Yep, get on ads. Someone helping ads. Healers are taking all
Tinder's got
of
it. Tinder's got it.
Just 5 more seconds.
Nice job!
Oh my god.
Ah, that was scary.
I'm alive!
Good job.
Oh, by the way, Dub.
Mess res.
Yeah,
You're not full health,
I do
threat
believe
doesn't fucking
Kagura
count!
saved me.
The night we killed the boss, though, was a roller coaster of a raid night. We went in, and we killed the boss relatively quickly, a couple pulls in, really, like maybe an hour, not even. And then 2 minutes later, Jin, who was sitting on the bench for the kill, G-quit.
At first we had her in because we were running 6 healers. Then towards the end of the night, we kind of realized that if we wanted to make the DPS check, we had to drop a healer for another DPS. And at the end of the night, at the same time, it's like her computer was acting up and she had to go anyways, so it kind of worked out that she was the healer that we wound up dropping. But the next day, though, we came back to Protectors, and we decided to stick with 5 healers, and we decided to stick with the 5 healers that we had.
I think there's miscommunication between her and the officers, and she was like, yo, why am I being sad? And then I think she thought it was because we didn't like her, or like something like that, or she was bad. But she does fine. She's a good player, a nice person.
I mean, she only sat for like an hour, so we were totally just like, what's she doing? Like, why is she leaving? Like, what did we do? Like, 1 hour? If 1 hour on the bench is going to make you quit, then, I mean, come on.
Now, apparently this wasn't like a simple matter of she felt entitled to the raid spot despite being an initiate. If it was just that, I'd probably have been a lot more upset about it. And apparently it was like some of her former guildies came over here to talk shit about her to some of our people, so she kind of thought that we were giving her the bum's rush, and this was just part of it, and
Jinyaya came back, realizing that it wasn't an issue about, you know, her performance or her ability or anything like that, and just, that we just didn't need a person, and, you know, she apologized, we all kind of laughed it off, and hoo-ha, we're done.
Those of you who recall Rash's little rage quit and the fact that he's still here know that we've given people second chances for far worse. And, you know, I mean, with Rash, it worked out perfectly well, so she wound up still healing for us on a lot of Sulong attempts, and on our Lei Shi re-kill that night, she continued to kick ass, so hopefully she'll stick around and kick ass.
That's okay.
Patrick.
Steve-O.
Jackass?
No, I'm sorry, there's Stefan. That was your homosexual name.
Alright, Susie.
You're true to— No, fuck you!
And then later in the raid night, there's a little bit of an incident with Panda egging on Alex, our new priest, a little bit. He was just having fun, but she wasn't, apparently. Somewhere in the point of standard mumble conversation, the word cunt is said. And when talking about that word, in raid chat, Alex brings up that, you know, I think it's the most vile, horrible word ever, and blah, blah, blah.
Big Crits is one of those guilds where you don't have to worry about walking on eggshells. You don't have to worry about offending anyone. You don't have to worry about, like, making something that someone would take as a personal attack.
And perhaps in reaction to this, Oriental Panda, our main tank, goes and mumbles something along the lines of cunt, 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 cunt.
We don't have assholes here. We just got people that love to joke around.
So, I mean, here's the thing. Panda, I fucking love Panda for the most part. He's a good tank, he knows his shit, and he's, for the most part, a funny fucking guy. But Panda also sometimes has a tendency to cross the line from being funny to just being a giant asshole. And I think that was one of those times.
Nothing is really hate-filled. It's just us joking around.
And to her credit, she didn't leave Raid and Guild immediately, but after the end of the night, she logged off and transferred fucking servers.
So we really only lost one healer out of the mix, but it was extremely unfortunate to lose Jin even for like a day and a half because she missed our last raid night where we were working on Sulong.
Doing it in 3, 2, 1, blast off! Happy New Year!
Instead of you.
It was a good week. We ended up getting protectors down, and we got some work in on Sulong for next. So next week, we should kill him. It won't be Sulong until we kill him.
Fuck that fight. No, seriously, fuck that fight. It's just fucking chaotic.
That fight's a little bit more of a pain in the ass than protectors, but it's not awful. And we were making it to the second night phase. We need to clean up a transition, but other than that, we're making progress, and I don't see us not downing it next week. So another kill, another week, you know?
And then after that, we'll be on Chop. So, I mean, we are on the home stretch here, big time.
I gotta admit, I really enjoy raiding at Big Crits. Everything is just so much fun in this guild.
Best guild I've ever joined!
Don't be fucking game ruined.
You gotta ruin it.